off slightly.
What one off?
And we're back. BB, can you hear what we are cooking? Yeah, nothing I'm saying is coming through either. This is crazy.
You and
No,
me.
Sly, no, you. What the Say something, Slyly. Can you hear me?
God, I'm having nightmares.
Would you turn it?
Oh, hold on. Maybe that. There we go. I think I fixed it.
Did you fix it?
Yeah.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Yeah. I wonder if people can hear me now. Who knows? Maybe they will.
Maybe they can. Wow, we're even up on Rumble too. Crazy.
That's amazing.
Wow. Well, thank you for joining us, BP. This show is especially just for you. We're going to be discussing the ins and outs of Italian ice.
Are we on Podbean?
We're on Podbean.
Do people on Podbean hear me this time around? I mean, you duct tape my mouth shut.
Look at it. Everybody says yes. I don't know what you're complaining
I
about.
think they love the fact that you put duct tape over
Listen,
my
fat
mouth.
people need love too, you son of a bitch. Right. I've got enough to feed the needy.
Yo, Jesta in the house. Jesta, you up there freezing in the northern climates this evening?
No, he's busy doing Doom Daily. That,
Yeah, but-
that excellent podcast that just came out.
Question is, does he have my episode of the podcast this evening?
I don't know. Hopefully he does.
Negative, not yet. Of course.
It's all right. You know what, Jester? I'm still waiting for my 20-minute clips of doing 3 hours worth of show. So
Thank you very much. Just shut the hell up. I will pull this thing over faster than I'll end this mother. I'm just saying.
we already tried that earlier.
Ew. Well, let's here. We'll try and experiment.
What, are you getting the litter boxes out?
Yeah, I'm getting the letter boxes out. We're gonna play a game.
Oh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, the Podfather of podcasting. Podfather, are you there?
Hello, my lovelies. Happy Hump Day.
Well, how you doing there, producer Eric?
I'm doing fantastic, James. Just living the dream.
Oh, baby, that's right.
Now, wait a minute, Podfather. I have a very serious question for you. Are you ready?
Bring it on.
Okay. Were you served scallops and green beans?
I ate scallops, but I had Brussels sprouts and carrots.
Podfather had a date.
It was,
Really?
I just went and hanged out with a friend. That's all.
Podfather had a date.
Wow.
It was a date.
I can't remember the last time I went out on a date.
Mm-hmm. I can. It's
Well,
been 4 years. I know.
I think JP and Frankie, I guess we got to stroke their egos, but we're just waiting for the titties guy to come in, right?
Hey! No stroking on this show. This is a trout-free show tonight. This is news and education. I think we ought to kick this off. I think I've got the hang of it. Are you ready, brother?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
I'm ready.
let's do it. Okay. 30-second intro.
You're listening to the Beans and Weenie Show is slightly doomed.
Right. That guy's still
And
alive.
now, here are those lovable future felons, James and Scooter.
Jeez, you just have no patience. What are you,
I
like
didn't
20
have
years
patience.
old?
I was excited. I heard Spanky. I mean, is that guy still alive?
Oh, no, nope. I don't think
No.
he is.
He's dead.
Miss Dixie, are you back on Facebook? Can you see us? We're here. We're back. We're live.
I can't believe we're still on YouTube or Facebook.
Well, we're on Facebook, YouTube. I don't know. Something has happened. We're slipping through the cracks. So,
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things are slipping through the cracks these days.
but which cracks?
Uh,
Wow. After a tough beginning, thanks everybody for showing back up to see if we couldn't get this thing kicked off.
well, yeah, that's you did an amazing job trying to get this going.
Shells, baby. Shaky, shaky. So glad you're in here tonight. Oh, we'll be getting your opinion on probably some good things this evening. And wait a minute. Donnie
You're assuming-
motherfucking Miles.
Well, once again, Scooter's insinuating that there's good things going on in the world.
Good things. Just shells. That's all I know about.
How you been? It's been a couple of weeks, my friend. What have you been up to?
It has been a crazy roller coaster. I've been doing fair to partly cloudy, a little sinus something or other with all the pollen. I'm so tired of the pollen. Everything is green. My car's green. The house windows are green. This crap has just it took its toll, and I succumbed. I didn't come out right. I just succumbed to a little bit of sinus migraine trouble for last week's show, and I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I had to cancel on you.
Yeah, that's all right. I
So-
just,
But
I continued on with life and just drove my happy ass around town.
Well, but wait a minute. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I actually got, I think, let's see, I think I got like 5 or 6 hours of sleep today, which is amazing because the last couple of days, yeah, I know. Last couple of days, I got 4 hours of sleep. So things are great. Just working and doing, some important adulting stuff and whatnot. And, the whole thing as far as your sinus issues and all that,
Roger.
I've been thinking about it. I think you really maybe should put a call into Hunter. He has some good things that he could describe to you.
Should I go hunting around the White House for a little bit of that white clear me up powder stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you could even borrow a straw if you want. I mean, here you go.
I've got plenty of straws.
Yeah.
Now you got
Yes.
me thinking in the wrong direction. Sorry.
Sorry about all you need in today's society are straws and litter boxes.
I think that'll work.
Yeah.
Ah,
I mean, your kids are using them at school nowadays, from what I understand. So
well, they are, and there's a rash of furry misbehavior in certain parts of the country. Have you heard about this crap?
I've been hearing about these misbehavior around college campuses and stuff like that. I'm sure you have as well.
This is in middle school.
Oh.
Middle school. Oh my gosh! Hang on.
I've been enlightened by all this college stuff. What's going on in the middle schools?
Well, it appears. Let's see. I think this. I'll have to check the facts on this. In Utah, okay, of all places, conservative Mormon Utah, they're having a little bit of problem with some furries in the Nebo school district. It appears that they have allowed the furries to infect the student population.
Oh no! Does that mean they all have? Oh no! They all have fleas?
No. We've got furries running around. They're biting and they're licking the other students who do not want to be touched by the frickin' furries.
Oh my goodness! They don't want to touch the cats.
I don't know what it is. I mean, this is, and they're barking too. this is just in beautiful Payson, Utah, Mount Nebo Middle School. This is a middle school.
Wow.
How
This
the
is, you're talking about like 7th grade kids?
we are we're talking about what is middle school, ladies and gentlemen. I've been out of school for so long, and my kids have been out of school. I think middle school is like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Okay. Yeah, 7th. I was in the ballpark there.
6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And you guys think I am making this stuff up? I am not, ladies and gentlemen. I am not making this up in the least bit. Here we are. Utah School District addresses rumors of furries biting and licking, report says. Now, the parents have video of this. So it's
Oh, do we have video on this?
we
there,
do.
School?
I do not. I'm not putting. We did the toe licking, and that was just too much on the Beans and Weenie show.
Oh, God.
Dixie said she read the article. There has been quite a bit of coverage in conservative. This is Mitt Romney land, ladies and
how is
gentlemen.
I want to know how the licking coverage is going. Is it like full body licking or
I don't.
just the nipples?
Just the tip. Just the tip.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Just the tip. This is, oh my Lord. The school district, in an email sent to parents that was obtained by the Salt Lake Tribune, that says all students to be respectful towards each other while at school.
Wait. How can you expect my child to be respectful when you have their, I don't know, other students that are with them trying to bite and lick them?
You know what? Did somebody dump over their litter box?
I'd be like, down, boy, down.
Holy crap. Somebody in the name of Lord, make this make sense for me. We're letting children pretend that they're animals.
Do they at least have leashes? Because, in public, in society today, we require all animals to have leashes on them if you take them outside.
But that's just it. Do you make a call to the folks at the
Humane Society?
No, at the enforcement agency for animal control.
Oh, there you go. You can call animal control on them.
Fuck
Say,
yeah.
you need to take these cats and dogs away because they're unleashed.
That's we have
Around biting and licking, and also these kids that are furries, don't they need tetanus shots?
No, don't they need to be neutered and spayed? I mean, before we
Oh, they are already doing that in middle school.
yeah, well, you're right.
Yeah. Yep.
I did not even correlate that.
They're having their, taking their peepees away and changing them to woo-ha-has. And
They're going to hooah.com and making that selection, clicking on the button. Oh.
and then they go after that, they go ahead and go down to another website and pick out their furry costume. And they're all ready to go, except they need leashes. Speaking of leashes, the people in these colleges, I think, need to start having some leashes put on them too. But we'll get into that later.
Oh yeah, that's coming up. But dude, I have got to since we're on the subject of furries, I have got to. Have you seen this crap? This is not in the show notes, ladies and gentlemen. This is a man.
What the fuck? What?
This is a dude in Japan.
No.
Yes.
Oh, I can kind of see it in the eyes.
This is this is a dude that changed himself into a furry. Holy shit! When he starts humping your leg,
serious?
I'm not.
It's really a dude.
This is really a dude. This is
No.
There he is being walked. Yep.
Oh, he's like a 300-pound dude. He's a big furry guy.
Shells, yes, completely serious.
Is that his daughter?
I have no idea. He said, when I fulfilled that dream, this is how it turned out. He wrote in the clip. I got to find, there's video of this. I'm human.
Wait a minute. Did you say when he fulfilled his dream?
His dream was to become a live furry.
He needs to get his nails done.
Yeah.
So that's the new American dream, folks, is becoming a furry, apparently. That's what our society's come to.
Starting them young. Holy crap.
What cost $2 million? I was reading the article. It said something cost $2 million.
Well, you know what? We've got a video. Let's just see what this video does. This will be interesting.
$14,000.
Dude, there he is. Oh, my God. What the fuck?
Oh, my God. Hey, his paws look like a bear.
Oh, my God.
Actually, the teeth, too, look like a bear, too.
He's
He rolls over playing dead.
Rub my wiener. Here's my wiener. Rub it.
What the hell is he doing? Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
My God, he's waving, hey.
He's in a cage. Leave him there. Just leave. Just walk away.
You can't be. This is a joke, right?
I know. No.
He's going like that. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. See, if I were him, I would roll over and play dead, too.
I can't. I can no longer.
Well, look, the thing says he spent $14,000.
Yes.
To do
14
that's
grand.
that's the Biden economy for you right there.
That is.
The Biden American dream is to become a furry. Spend $14,000. Roll over, play dead, roll over, and be spayed and neutered. As Bob Barker would always say, make sure all your furries are spayed and neutered.
That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. Keep them, cut the nuts right off of them.
And this guy right here is a good example why it might be okay to.
Wait, what are you pointing at me for? I'm not a good example.
Not this guy. The guy that was on the video as a dog who spent $14,000 to become a dog.
Okay.
That might be a good example of why maybe it's okay just to allow these people to have abortions. Just saying.
Oh my God. All right. So now that we recover from the technical gremlins that have infiltrated, I think it's the frickin' Democrat Party that came into the show, and they just they screwed everything up for us.
Yeah, they don't want us to talk about them.
They don't want us to point out the ignorant, idiotic things that they're doing. And welcome to the show, Jilly. Good to see you, baby. And you know what? I need to know what your average is, Jilly. I just want to know what you're at. You know what I'm talking about. You just need to just put the number in here, and we'll discuss it later. Because
secret society here.
It is. It's a secret message just between me and Jilly. She knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're just trying to get on a date like Eric. That's
Hey, if somebody fed me scallops, I would not go. I'm sorry.
Well, it wasn't a date. It was just hanging out with friends.
And okay, so,
friends, yeah.
Air quotes. It was just friends.
You say she's just a friend.
That's it. And why did he? Why did he serve you trash off of the ocean floor? I'm just curious.
Hey, scallops are good.
Scallops.
You guys don't know what you're missing.
Oh, I do. I'm okay with missing it.
Well, y'all were just talking a minute ago about the Democrat Party. I guess they don't want us talking about the lawfare, the judge having a conflict of interest, and what have you, and Biden being a senile little fool, right?
That is, yes, that's what it is. But okay, so we're going to get rolling into this. I've got three things that I want to cover tonight, and they all kind of dovetail with what you and I have been talking about for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So, does everybody remember the participation generation? Everybody remember?
That was like participation trophies, right?
That was correct.
You get a trophy. You get a trophy. As long as you finish, you're a hero.
There we go. There we go. And the other thing is immigration and immigration. So emigration with an E and immigration with an I. Do you know the differences?
I know the difference between immigration and illegal immigration.
Yes. Yeah, that's gonna come into this.
Oh, okay.
And then you know what? My word for the last week, I know we've got a lot of friends out here that do a lot of live casting and podcasting, and they come up with themes for their shows, and they have like one word, which is, amazing, and it's usually uplifting, and it's usually inspiring. But today, my word for the last 2 weeks, ungratefulness.
Oh, that's a good word.
You like that word, ungratefulness?
Yeah, that describes many things in our society.
Exactly. I've got a lot of things that I want to talk about. But before we get into that, let's just, you know what? We just need to crank up a little break because I'm feeling a little thirsty. So take it away.
Have you joined the BWD crew yet? Well, if you haven't, then you need to. Visit linktree.com/BWD crew and follow the community link to become an exclusive member of the BWD crew. Now, when you join, you'll become instantly eligible for all those contests, trivia, and fun subscriber-only content. Ooh, does it cost to join? Yes, it does. But it's less than a medium caramel frappe from McDonald's. And you can believe me, you'll get more value from that BWD crew and a lot less lip from a teenage fast food worker. So don't delay. Be sure to join the Beans and Weenie community today. That's linktree.com/BWD crew.
And we're back. Did you get something to drink? What is it that you have in that pitcher? What is that, dude?
It's coffee.
Whoa.
Yeah, slightly needs his caffeine. He's up 20 hours of 24 every day.
No wonder you don't sleep ever. What the fuck?
Yeah, I can't afford to. I got to, so expensive to live in this country anymore.
You're on the Biden economy plan. Is that what we're hearing there?
That's right. You gotta love it. I just living the American dream,
So you ventured back a couple of weeks ago. You ventured back to a place that you hold dear.
I did.
Yes.
Oh, to the Venetian Poker Room.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Well, I decided to go back. It's been a while since I ventured back into the poker room. Everybody thought I was dead. But no, I went back and started playing some No Limit Texas Hold'em. Did pretty good. I've had some ups and downs. It's been a tough year. I don't know what's going on over there. But I guess the players have started to catch on how to play. So
is that it, or are all the cards marked and the Democrats have now come in to raise cash for the 2024 election?
Maybe that's what it is. I've been trying to pinpoint it, but I was thinking of trying to go for hours. They have a tournament coming up, but with there's more important things that have come up in life that they need my attention at, and so I'm going to forego the tournament this month and focus on more imperative things. But no, it's been good. Did I tell you about? Oh my God, the other day at the charging station.
No. Well, actually, you alluded to it, but I want you to share that with everybody else that's listening with us tonight.
God.
Tell me all about it.
So during the daytime here in Las Vegas, the infrastructure sucks for electric vehicles. There's not as many charging stations as there needs to be. So I am driving around and decide to take my break, go in to charge, and I wait about 30 to 40 minutes. During the daytime, it's just what it is. You can bitch and complain about it, but like I said, it is what it is. So my turn came up, and some bastard decided to cut in front of me to take my charger. Ooh. But, I'm feeling like I'm going to be the better guy here. And I did honk at him just to see if he would pay attention and say, hey, dude, you need to wait your damn turn. Yep. And he ignored me, which, whatever. So I decided to be the better person. Like, apparently, maybe he needs it more than I do right now. So I'll just let him take it. Didn't make any big deal about it. So 5 or 10 minutes later, somebody else is done charging,
Mm-hmm.
and a guy to the right of me like starts to pull out, and I'm like, oh hell no! I bust out ahead of him and take the damn charger, and then oh my god, this 6'5", 300-pound black guy becomes irate about it.
What?
Yeah, he's like, oh, what are you doing? I was after this red Mustang, this and that and the other. I'm like, well, dude, if you fucking knew, that little bastard. And I was the guy in the red Mustang had his window open and everything. I didn't give a shit. I said, this fucking bastard already cut in front of me. I went ahead and let him have it. No big deal. You're after him, so either way, you're waiting, dude.
Come
And
on.
he's like, don't make me get out of my car and this and that and the other. And you know, these fucking liberal lunatics in society,
Yep.
they're liable to do anything, whether it be like pound your car in with their fists or break out a gun and shoot you. And so I'm like, you know what, dude? If you need, it sounds like you need, and I was using a lot more expletives than I'm using here, which
Colorful language.
colorful language.
Mm.
So to put it nicely, I told him, I'm like, look, apparently you need it more than I do. And if you're going to act like a little bitch,
Yeah.
fuck off. I'm out of here. I'm not going to deal with this bullshit. So I pull out of it so he can get it right. And then security guy comes around and he doesn't give me the time of day to explain what the hell's going on and says, you need to get off property. You don't belong. You're not allowed to come back here.
What?
I'm like, what the hell? You didn't hear what the hell's going on. And the black guy keeps going on. He's like, well, I should have been this and that, right behind the red car. If he cut in front of you, you have a beef with him. You should deal with that. I'm like, well, regardless, dude, you'd fucking be waiting for him and I to charge. So it doesn't matter who went first. And, the black security guard says you need to get out of the property before we call the police.
You.
Me, the white guy.
The little short white guy.
Yeah. I'm like,
Did you pull out your card and say, look, I'm a part of a protected community?
oh no, I didn't get a chance to. I should have. Yeah.
Oh, no.
But right, I don't know. Today, I almost until this like the moment that I just started talking about it, I kind of let it go.
Yeah.
But because it doesn't matter. I after I left the property, right? I decided to give the. I wanted to call the guy's boss.
Ooh.
The head of security.
Yes.
Even though it's weekend. So I call. And it's guess who answered the damn phone?
His voicemail.
No, the fucking guy who kicked me out. And so I start to go off, and I'm like, I want to talk to your supervisor. Click. Hangs up on me.
Wow.
And then
Yes.
I call back. You want to know how many times I called back?
How many?
I'm pulling it up so I can tell you. I don't want to lie to our audience.
Give us the accurate numbers. Don't be a Democrat. Not
Right.
81 million times.
I called 8 times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 8 times, and the guy sent me the voicemail every single time. Can you believe that shit?
Yes, I actually can.
It's unbelievable. And I, so I'm like, okay, well, if he's sending me the voicemail, you know what that means, right? Well, he's got a cell phone. So I think we should send a few texts to the guy.
Yeah, I mean, let's put that in the chat. Everybody, this is now number one. This is a actual global conglomerate. It's Simon Properties, and they own outlet malls and they own the dying indoor malls all around the world. They're headquartered.
I'm
Interestingly,
familiar with them.
yeah, they're headquartered. Interestingly enough, in Indianapolis, Indiana. So I think you should. I think you should post that and say, "Hey, look, here's the deal," and tag Simon Malls or Simon Properties in your.
But at the end of the day, here's the thing about a scooter. We're living in a society
Mhm.
where it doesn't matter what I say.
Nope.
I'm now the minority here
You are.
because everything's reversed.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter if it's the and I'm not. I'm probably gonna refrain from letting our audience know what I texted because, I'll say I'll put the nice spin on it. Basically, I said that called him out, saying that what he did was not right. That you allowed someone who threatened me to stay on your property while kicking me out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I alluded to that maybe had to do with the race of everyone involved.
Does anybody doubt that it didn't have anything to do with race? I'm just curious. Is there any takers? Anybody want to venture out there? Redneck Rambler, welcome into the show. Glad to have you in here this evening. And everybody else, we've got Podfather, and don't know who that slightly serious character is, but Shells, the Silver State Queen, is with us again this evening. We have missed you sorely. BP Good Eats.
That's right. And end of the day, Scooter, I'm not too concerned about it because Simon Properties and all that, they're going to eventually go bankrupt. Malls all across America have a limited amount of life left in them. They're going to be a thing of the past within 5 years.
Well, okay, so now, interestingly enough, the indoor mall properties that Simon owns, like here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they have a large property. They've lost all of the anchor stores. Everybody's moving out. They're now trying to convert it into some type of a destination, like gathering all the data.
Like a gathering spot for families and stuff, right?
Exactly. Because here in Tulsa, I believe that they're bringing the Shields. Are you familiar with Shields at all?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so Shields is a Midwestern sporting good company.
Okay.
It's like Academy or Dick's Outdoor or whatever that those other places are.
Yeah, I like Dick's.
I don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can't go. How are those scallops, Podfather? Just curious. Oh, never mind.
I mean, they taste good. I have a story about like a local like mall here in Georgia, like North Lake Mall, like located near Tucker, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I think because a lot of these older malls are just becoming like wastelands. You would never guess which tenants that mall picked up. They picked up Emory Healthcare and the CDC.
Yep. Government money, taxpayer money funding those properties.
I know.
That's interesting because here in Tulsa, we have a mall that just basically dried up and went belly un here, and it's called Eastland Mall. And now the primary tenants are the Job Corps, the Oklahoma Unemployment Exchange Commission, and I think the only other tenant in that 40 million square foot mall, because it was a beautiful mall when they first built it back in the 80s. I think the other tenant is some kind of revival and missionary organization.
Yeah, I've started to see like religious organizations move into some malls out here on the West Coast, and I mean, what people do at malls these days, obviously the kids, they gather and go do their childhood, talking about how they're going to become furries, but the majority of adults that go to malls nowadays, they go to the mall, they get their phone and they take a photo of an item they want to buy, and then they capture the price, capture the picture, a photo of the item, and they go home and they Google it to find out where they can get the best deal, and that's it.
And you know what? Didn't Google write like an app and an algorithm so that you could take a picture of something and it'll come back and tell you where you can order that?
Yeah.
I think in Deion Sanders' kids, they were pimping that for the longest time. Fluffy Sanders and Puffy Sanders. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Okay.
100%. Yeah. I just like that you said pimping.
Well, come on.
Deion Sanders and pimping, they kind of go hand in hand.
And like some of like the major malls in my area, like South DeKalb Mall and North DeKalb Mall, I know have kind of turned into like a wasteland. It's like hard to look at it when you drive by it, but I think a proposal with some of these malls that are closing down is to like turn them into mixed use, like a mixture of like restaurants and little shopping stores and and like apartments.
Yeah, that's what that's what I foresee going to be happening across the country. You're going to have these malls demolished. They'll tear them down. They'll build high-rise luxury apartments, and
Mhm.
you'll have the marketplace on the first
Hotels.
floor, and all above the rest is going to be apartment housing.
You know what? If there was,
Governments like come in,
well,
to
but
buy them up.
here's the thing. Okay, so if governments actually it got together with developers and they considered this, maybe they'd go into these empty carcasses of malls, like you were saying, instead of raising them to the ground. Actually, what they could do is they could create like a little 15-minute city, all contained in that mall. Because think about it, you could put up mini houses, tiny houses or whatever they're called, that people are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on to live in like a 12 by 12 shed. So you could actually take this mall. You could probably put like thousands of those tiny homes all throughout the mall, and then you've got a place for food. You've got a place for entertainment. You actually you don't even have to use public transportation. Holy mackerel. That would solve the climate crisis altogether, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, and I think like other proposals, like that there might be like a big healthcare entity, like in Atlanta you have like Piedmont and Emory and Northside hospitals, like that are probably needing another hospital to alleviate like the overcrowding at some of their existing hospitals, and especially if they're able to hire doctors to staff those hospitals and nurses.
Well, you could do destination healthcare. You could have I don't know, whatever mall you said there in South Georgia, in South Atlanta, you could have destination healthcare. So you could bring in clinics. You could bring in like rhinoplasty, urgent care, rhinoplasty. What's the Sonabella? I want to go to Sonabella. Does anybody know what Sonabella or Sonabella is? I'm just curious.
I've heard them advertised on TV and radio.
Get rid of fat. You don't have to work out.
Is that Cubella's cousin?
I know it could be. Where is Cubella?
I wish she was here for this.
Oh, maybe she'll listen to it on the download. But
the problem I have with what you're thinking of is you're still, the housing is still needed for all the illegal immigrants that are coming into our country.
Yes.
So they'll probably just use those to,
Well, but that's not going to be close enough to where they're going to actually be doing their jobs, because that's not where the lawns are that they're going to be cutting, and that's not where the vegetable farms are, where they're going to be.
They're not looking for work. Why work when you basically rob the American families of their hard-earned income?
Well, okay, so time out. That's just a small select group that have made their way up from Colombia, Venezuela, Liberia, and all other points.
Small, right? Just small.
Yeah. So it's a tiny group who are basically running New York City and Chicago now.
All right.
So just Sonabella. Yes. Oh, yes. Well, this is where we need to install these in all the malls. And we need to go visit them. We can do a female body transformation or a male body transformation. They get rid of the fat. You no longer have to exercise. You can just lay down.
Yeah, but why get Sonabella when you can just become a furry?
But, well, wouldn't you want to be a svelte furry? You don't want to be,
After looking at Lassie in that last video, it looked like he could use some Sonabella.
Yeah, probably use a little bit. I think you're right.
Yeah. So I think that's why he decided to become a furry, so you don't see his fat ass.
There you go. That's exactly why. All right, so back to what we were talking about. 3 things: participation generation. You still with me?
I'm here.
Immigration, and ungratefulness. I want to pique everybody's mind. Listen very closely. Do you remember this?
Where is it written that we must act if we do not care, as if we're not moved? Well, I am moved. I want a kinder and gentler nation.
Wait a minute. Was that a Republican talking?
Yes. Can you identify who said that?
That sounded like a Bush.
It did sound like a Bush. And
Yeah.
now,
I think I know which one specifically.
okay. And what year was it, though? I will be more impressed if you give me the year.
Shoot.
1992.
I don't know.
Close.
Oh, damn.
1991?
Closer, but no. Okay.
90?
So when was this particular Bush? 1857. That is correct. BP. You just got to rearrange those numbers a little bit.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
James, I just
Well-
want to let you know here on the side, you're welcome, baby. You're welcome.
Well, I think the only thing about George H.W. Bush we
Anyway,
remember quite well is the time George H.W. Bush said, "Read my lips, no new taxes." Remember
he
that?
actually, okay, so here's the deal. In this speech, he actually made that comment. This was the speech.
Where is it written
This is the
that we
speech.
must
1989.
act if we do not care?
Nope.
As if we're not moved. Well, I am moved. I want a kinder and gentler nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the year was 1988. Dixie, you were so very close, my darling. 1988, in his acceptance speech for the nomination for presidential candidate for the Republican Party. That's where all of our crap started.
That's where it all began, the pussification of
BP.
America.
That is the pussification of America. That's where Participation Generation got together and they said you can no longer provide criticism to young skulls full of mush because that will damage their psyche and they will not grow up to be productive citizens in the country. So you have to treat everybody fairly. Equality.
We have the Republicans to basically they started it all off.
Well, okay, so you and I were talking about this a little bit, but think about this. When you think of George Herbert Walker Bush, who else comes to mind? Who do you see him in photos with besides his son, George Bush? Podfather? Who does he take pictures with?
I know he would take pictures with his wife, Barbara.
Yes, but standing next to Barbara, who else would you see?
Wouldn't you
Maybe
see some
Jeb.
Democrats?
There's a Democrat. There's a few
Bill
of them.
Clinton.
That is
Bill
correct.
Clinton, right? Yeah.
Bill and Hillary palled around with the Bushes. You know who else was
BP.
palling around? The Grime Reaper. That's a new one. BP.
That's a new one.
That's Pennsylvania spelling.
Let me think.
Who
I don't
else?
think it's Joe Biden, is it?
No. Joe has been excluded. Joe was excluded from that little group, but Barry Soetoro, aka Barack Hussein
Barack
Obama, and Michael Obama were all good, dear friends with the Bushes.
Was that
with the
before he
Clintons.
became president, Obama?
Yes. And
Yeah.
after he became president, and they got together, they have regular like golf outings and they go ride, mountain bikes whenever the men of the family will let them. Anyway.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Well, I've always told you, I mean, how I think about it, that that both parties, they have the same goals in mind. And I've said this for years. They just have different routes to get to their eventual goal. And their route is whatever it takes to appease their constituents. And that's it. And, you bringing that up
Well,
just confirms that.
Well, okay. So just to be real candid with you,
Titties, Frankie D.
I gotta say, you know what? BP brought up a point. He thought Obama didn't like Bush. And that is incorrect because on your screen, you'll notice here these three folks just hanging out, having a great time, golf shirts. It's just a wonderful opportunity to get together and to take a look at the future of politics and guide it the way they want it to go. Because I think they're a part of a cabal. I don't know. And yes, Dixie brings up the fact that Oprah is in there close with them. So, I think there has been a plan all along, and I think it's being manipulated by other external organizations. So, like the George Soros folks,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and the Klaus Kinky Boots Kinski or whatever his name is for the WEF.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think they have tried to assemble a team, and now they have a useful idiot in Joseph Babbling Biden.
Joseph Stalin Biden.
I think there's a problem with that too, because if you think about it, Joe Biden, he wants so badly to have his own legacy. He doesn't want to be attached to anybody else. He doesn't want to be Barry Obama's vice president. He doesn't want to be known as whatever her name is, his husband, even though that's all he can remember.
Well, he doesn't have to worry about it. He definitely will be remembered. He'll be remembered as the worst president this country has ever seen. That's what he'll be remembered.
Well, you're correct, but if the people that are flying high cover for the Democrats have their way, then no, he's going to be labeled as one of the best presidents we've ever had in this country. And that brings
it's ever ruined this country.
Well, there you go. But I think because if you put all of these dominoes together and you think about this, so back in the 80s, after Ronald Reagan, after my hero came out and said, Soviet Union, you're fucked, tear down the wall and get rid of this communistic bullshit, he was one of the last of the old guard. He had balls, and he would lead the country. He may not make the right decision all the time. I served under Ronald Reagan, and he was a great commander-in-chief. Since then, we have not had a commander-in-chief that really knew how to lead. I mean, because I was...
Hold on, wait. How can you say that when we had a fantastic president in Donald Trump?
We did. We had a fantastic president. He didn't know how to lead. But I didn't serve under him. I was talking about presidents that I served under, because I served. I served under Reagan. I served under Carter. I served under H.W. Bush, and I served under William Jefferson Blow Me Clinton. And that's all I could take when I got to that point.
That's all you could take.
That was it.
I'm going to leave that alone.
There you go. But. Yeah, Frankie, I'm still serving. I don't. I got a chance for parole next year.
Yeah, we're all serving we're all serving as slaves now.
There you go. But if you take a look back at it, the country changed when H.W. got into power, when he became the president of the United States. Things in this country started to change, and I believe. Maybe they had a idea to make it a gentler and a kinder country. But somehow somebody got the thought, you know what? America's too good. We need to make everybody else better.
Well, yeah, they had this whole plan of equity way back in the day. Exactly. And you cannot, if you make drastic changes fast, there'll be an uproar in society. So the only way you can do it is piece by piece by piece by piece, and slowly integrate it and slowly groom the new generations to accept it. And that's what's going on. And it's what's been going on for decades.
Well, just out of curiosity, how many years have preceded? How long of a time has it been since 1988? I'm just curious here. We're going on 40 years.
How many? Yeah, 40 years now. Yeah, it's a long time.
We're going on 40 years. And I think they began this plan just about 40 years ago. So they started planting people into the bureaucracy of the government so that no matter who you elect, it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter as long as as long as they continue to have the chess pieces in Congress.
They don't need the chess piece. Here's the problem. They don't need the chess pieces in Congress. it now, and I hate to do this, but I agree with many things that Jester Dooms has spoken about it not really mattering who you elect. I still believe that we can change this by voting and by electing different people, voting out the morons that are up there.
I still think that's tough. I think you need something more than that, something people don't want to see in society.
Well, we're getting to a point where you don't want to
we're
see
getting close to that.
crap in
Trust me.
society.
We are.
But the thing is, as long as these bozos work in the bureaucracy, who work in the three-letter agencies, the CIA, the FBI, the DOE, the DEA, the Department of Education, all
The
of
IRS,
these,
yeah.
the IRS, the Treasury Department, all these fucks still exist up there. They can thwart anything of change. And they did it with Donald Trump.
Yeah, they did. And they continue to try to do that.
And they did it well. Yeah, and now they've got, see, if you can't beat them, join them. So now all the Democrats in Congress came up with this bill. They actually are going to create legislation to try and keep Donald John Trump out of the office of presidency. Have you heard about that shit?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I see it every day.
Well, sounds to me like that's just going to wind up guaranteeing that Trump becomes a martyr.
Well,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. The theory that I have. You know how we say that we're getting close to, the unspeakable two words.
right.
If they are able to succeed in that, that just makes it one step closer to those two words becoming reality. Because I don't believe the American population is going to put up with it. I really don't. They put them in jail. If they try to have another fraudulent election,
Yes.
shit will hit the fan. And if it doesn't, maybe that's the end of America.
I don't think it'll be the end of America. I think America may become fragmented. It may become splintered. But think about this. Of all the things that are going on, how can you not be at that tipping point after you were told by the bureaucracy, okay? I believe that when COVID hit, I think Trump acted with the best information that he had available. But I think the people that were underneath him, they worked to hinder his presidency and his administration and all the things that he was doing, because we sailed through COVID and we were coming back. At the end of Trump's presidency, money was starting to flow again. People were starting to get back to work. Businesses were opening. We were sending kids back to school. And then all of a sudden, we got
the pandemic.
We got Biden, and shit went to hell because he could blame it on the other people. But just to tie this up a little bit more, the bureaucrats told us, here's the deal. You take the vaccine and you'll be safe. You won't be able to spread it. You'll be good. Everything will be great. You won't die. You won't get the disease. Everything will be good. And then turns out, no, you get the vaccine, you can still get the disease and you can still die from it. And you can still spread it. It doesn't matter what other people have and the boosters that they have. Kamala fucking Harris has caught the disease twice. And she has the most number of boosters, and not the oral kind. She gets it in the bud. But anyway, dude, Sean, what? No, rewriting history. What is it that? All right, so we gotta. I got to get a little input from the peanut gallery here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, welcome to the stage, Dude Sean from some parking lot in northeastern United States.
What's all this no about, Dude Sean?
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
I mean, what are you talking about?
Well,
That's not the way any of it happened.
Okay.
And I'm sure everybody in the chats agrees with me, other than you taking digs on me living in a van and trying to make me look like a piece of shit before I'm going to clearly state how wrong you are if you think back of how things really happened.
Yes.
No, we were not coming together towards the end of Trump's piece of shit 4 years. We were all forced into a very bad situation. We were all fucking traumatized during his Operation Warp Speed. Miss me with the fucking stupid prices of gas. It's nothing in comparison to the lives that were lost by those fucking vaccines, if that's what you want to call them, and the injuries. I'm talking about paralyzed children, people being blind, and I don't want to hear about anything about policies or what a great anything that we had before that. Because it's all just a pile of shit compared to what fucking really happened shortly thereafter. Am I right? Or am I fucking right? And if I actually remember, I don't think things were really all that great beforehand anyways. We're all still living from paycheck to paycheck. And a lot of us had 2 fucking jobs.
Well, now, hang on
yes,
there.
I live in a fucking van.
Hang
after
on there,
our
dude.
government.
Dude,
Yes, I live in a van.
hang on
After
there.
our fucking government tormented us, and I decided to put the pause button on their piece of shit machine.
Now,
Yes, I did that for myself.
now, dude, Sean,
Out of respect to the people who were injured.
dude, Sean, I got to tell you, I love you, and I respect your point of view, but I don't.
It's more than just a point of view.
I don't
That's
think
the way
you're
it really
actually.
happened.
I don't think you're actually viewing the circumstances and the facts correctly. So, just out of curiosity, what
Now, it's
happened
no longer
to
a matter of opinion. We have the facts now.
what facts?
Okay, because originally it was a matter of opinion because the people were silenced because they were pressured to. Now, weren't they? In a fear that they were going to lose their jobs and their well-being.
Now-
They're going to have their children taken from them to even mention anything other than what their narrative was. Now, isn't that the way it happened?
Dude, Sean, what is the fact? What is it that you're stating? You're saying that people were.
I just said perfectly clear. Don't gaslight me.
No, you haven't been clear. You've given me a lot of gaslighting yourself. Here's the deal. Why were people worried about losing their jobs?
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I wouldn't kid you in the least bit. Why were people worried about losing their jobs? Why
So
were they
what are
worried
you
about
saying, that
speaking
you don't
out?
remember that people were being had their backs against the wall and that they were being
Okay, but
forced to
why was their back
Why are
against
you
the wall?
interrupting me when I'm answering your question?
You're not answering
Because
my
you know
question.
I'm fucking
You're
right. Now cut it the fuck out and tell it the way it
don't-
fucking happened.
You are not right. You're misinformed.
The only reason people feared for their jobs was because if they refused to take the vaccine, the quote unquote vaccine, that they would get
Correct.
fired. That's the
Wow.
only reason.
I would like to say something like, with all due respect, dude, Sean, you're more brainwashed than you can imagine, and I feel sorry for you, my friend.
let's not go there, because Dude Sean has a right to his opinion and thoughts, and I'm happy
Well,
to air them out here, because you know what, we don't know what he's gone through, but the problem is people, they were threatened that they would lose their job, and a lot of folks did lose their job. A lot of people were put out of the military because they would not take the vaccine. A lot of police departments lost a lot of great officers because of the mandates that the Biden administration put in place and the bureaucracy put in place, and the governments that were running the states said, you got to get the shot
well,
or you're not going to be able to work. That did happen. I agree wholeheartedly.
Right.
But the simple fact remains, at the end of Trump's tenure in the White House, things were getting better.
Yes.
Businesses
100%.
were opening. The cost of groceries was not inflated. Inflation was low. And people were working. People could get jobs. And he was trying very, very hard to get the schools back open. But he was prevented by the bureaucracy.
And prior to the pandemic, or whatever you want to call it, things were great in America. The
right.
economy was amazing.
Well,
I mean,
well,
you tell me, and maybe, who knows, maybe Dude Sean is one of those folks that is able to come out and say how life was so much better before Trump. Because it doesn't sound like he was a very big fan of what was going on back when Trump was in office.
well, to add to what you're saying, James, Trump had excellent policies, and I truly believe to the core of my being that, I don't may not care for Trump, as a private individual. Of course, granted, we don't know Trump on a personal level, and most importantly, we don't know Trump's heart and soul. The only person who knows each and every one of our hearts is the good Lord upstairs. And I respect that there are going to be people out there who believe God's not real, but to me, God truly is a real person.
He is.
And, and the thing I'll also add is, we had no new wars and conflicts during the 4 years that Trump was in office, and he was probably the first president in the history of this country, if not in modern times, who basically just thumbed his nose at the presidential salary that presidents get paid, because Trump made his millions in the business world, and he looked at the presidential salary as just nothing but chump change.
And it's amazing. Here's the amazing part, Scooter. And I know it's one of those things to where we've gone from this participation generation,
Right.
to where now in society, we're going to get into this a little bit later, to where everything in America is the total opposite of what it used to be. I mean, we are now being exposed to people on college campuses being in uproars, being able to, without punishment, say death to America, which is beyond me, and them wishing death to the Jewish people on college campuses, and it continuing to be allowed to happen. And
and here's a very interesting thing, James. Like, I'm not sure if you've been, paying attention to Twitter X and any of the social media this week, especially any news out of Western New York. A congressional candidate by the name of Nate McMurray found himself in plenty of hot water this week when he posted something on Twitter X that kind of suggested like death to the MAGA movement, and even it got Tucker Carlson's attention, and Tucker Carlson, ripped this guy a new asshole. No lie.
well, and that's the thing. It's like, and I don't want to spoil it before we get to it, but it's like the hatred stemming from these college campuses is unbelievable. It's one of those, it's like, I guess I'll just spoil it. It's like, you're not happy here and you want to be an activist and wanting all the Jews to be killed, and you're all about, Palestine and all that, then what the hell are you doing in this country? If you're not happy here, seek your happiness in some other foreign land.
And then when you had like the Iranian mullahs chanting death to America while Obama was president, the thing I kind of asked myself is if these people hate Israel and America so much, why is somebody like President Obama continuing to kiss their asses?
Yes, exactly. And it's like, even this past week, we Congress and the House and Senate passed more billions of dollars of our hard-earned taxpayer dollars to be shipped out to Ukraine, all without them doing anything to protect our own borders, which is not a surprise. And I'm at the point to where I'm done with the House, the House Speaker. He has no cojones. He doesn't want to stand up and do what's right for the American people. And, we continue to send billions of dollars to Ukraine to fight a losing war. I mean, how long has it been now that they've been in this war? Over a year and a half, 2 years, nothing's happening. Russia's getting what they want. And, Joe Biden goes on the air today trying to, slur his words and saying how this is not only helps protect Ukraine, but it's also for the protection of the United States. And at the same time, you have a president slurring his words and not standing up for what's right, and saying how all these people who are chanting death to America and death to the Jewish people, how they're good people. Did you hear him say that earlier this week?
And yet, Speaker Johnson and President Biden are still continuing to kiss their asses, right?
Exactly. It's amazing. And when Scooter gets back,
you now got them, and you now got like FISA renewed for another 4 more years, that means more warrantless spying. So, but basically, that they've decided to shred the Fourth Amendment, and the founders wrote the Fourth Amendment for a reason, to protect people like us from unreasonable search and seizure.
Well, there's no longer protections for Americans. Americans, in their eyes, they are the last thing they want to worry about. It's all about everyone else in society. They don't represent us anymore, which in my mind, I'm trying to understand why I continue to have to pay taxes, because you nor myself are being represented in this country. All they give a shit about are illegal aliens and shipping our cash out to Ukraine and any other, Iran, anywhere else,
Right.
but here in the people of the United States.
And then you have a lot of these frivolous court cases against Trump. And then you have that one judge, Judge Juan Merchan, who's got probably one of the biggest conflicts of interest, because the true story about that judge is his daughter is employed with like a law firm or a consulting firm that has big name clients like Kamala Harris and Adam Schiff. And if that's not a conflict of interest, I don't know what is, because if that judge had one iota of integrity, he would do the right thing of recusing himself from that case, and a new judge come in that has integrity. Because this judge continuing having a conflict of interest and choosing to preside over that case, that judge is just making himself look silly to the point that it's either a joke or a travesty.
Now, what happened today in court? Did the judge give Trump any? Is he going to jail, or is he getting fined for basically disobeying the judge, his orders? Scooter?
Well, I think that gag order is unconstitutional, and I think he's suing to get that judge off the case. And the judge has already made it clear that he's not allowed to attend Barron's graduation, and he's not allowed to attend a Supreme Court hearing that's supposed to be happening tomorrow.
I don't think the judge has taken any action yet against Donald J. Trump. He's threatened a lot of action. He's very condescending. He's very demeaning, and he's very rude to not only the former president of the United States, but to his legal team by dressing them down in court and telling his lawyers, get control of your client. Your client is not behaving correctly.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
It's a shit show is what it is.
It is. It is.
It's all theatrical political theater. That's all it is. Nothing.
Right.
Mark my words. Nothing is going to happen to Hunter Biden. Nothing's going to happen to Donald Trump.
Okay, so if Donald Trump can get it back into office, I think we may see some action taken against Hunter and against some of the other criminals that existed in the bureaucracy. Mr. McCabe, do you remember who Mr. McCabe was?
The name
I've heard the name.
Okay, so he was a lawyer in the Department of Justice, and he was deputy Andrew McCabe, deputy assistant attorney general for the United States, and he lied. He lied about the investigation against Donald J. Trump. They caught him in a lie. That's why he had to resign. Trump wanted him fired, and there was a referral. This is so cute the way this works. They referred Andrew McCabe to the Department of Justice for investigation and for judicial review. In other words, Dixie is exactly right. He works for mainstream media, MSNBC. Andrew McCabe committed a felony that they have acted upon on other folks. General Flynn. I don't know if you remember what happened, but he was prosecuted for lying. But we don't prosecute Andrew McCabe. Peter Strzok. The FBI agent.
Lisa Page.
Well, Strzok was the FBI agent that initiated Crossfire Hurricane. He's the guy that came out and said, hey, we got to investigate. We got to investigate. This is real. And he lied.
Right. And nothing happened to him.
Nope. He had to resign. He's no longer an FBI agent, but his little minions are still running around there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if Donald J. Trump, with the knowledge that he had previously, because I guarantee somebody will recommend somebody that like Bill Barr again. Bill's a good guy. Bill worked for everybody. He knows how government works. He's honest. He's straightforward. No, he was a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Donald Trump, no, we're not going to go with that. As a matter of fact, we're going to go with my buddy who I'm friends with, who, he comes to Mar-a-Lago every other week. He's going to be the attorney general. Not going to go with any of these bozos that are in Congress right now. Jim Jordan.
Well,
Yep.
I think probably the smartest bet for Donald Trump to have as an attorney general would be a gentleman named Matt Whitaker.
You know what? Matt is a good guy, but no, I think Donald Trump will go outside of the lines, and he'll get somebody like Sheriff Clark out in Arizona or Milwaukee or wherever he was at. He will get an actual person who can run the Department of Justice, who believes in the rule of law, and who will not, he won't favor anybody because of their political persuasion or the favors they've done for somebody.
Well, and somebody who is, not a part of the whole uniparty cabal,
Exactly.
and doing their bidding.
Yep.
So while you were gone, Scooter, I was trying to correlate how America's half-assed backwards. And, back in the day, we went from people dressed up in white hoodies and having hate towards the blacks, unfortunately.
Uh-huh.
And now it's like it's the whole opposite, and it's accepted.
Well, in
Look what-
certain things, because you still can't put on a white hoodie. You still can't gather in a public space because that's racist.
Right, but you also have these people at Columbia and other places spewing the same hatred towards other classes, and it's totally acceptable.
Well, certainly it is. And people, oh my gosh, they raise them up as heroes. Check this out. Hang on. This is going to be good. You're going to love this. Your favorite person, and I'm so sad that Dude Sean isn't here because I know Dude Sean loves this young lady. But here we go.
It is especially important that we remember the power of young people shaping this country today, of all days, as we once again witness the leadership of those peaceful student-led protests on campuses like Columbia, Yale, Berkeley, and many others.
Peaceful, ladies and gentlemen.
Can we break this? Hold on. Can we break this? What her speech is, break this up, right? Yep. She's talking about how the young people, the younger generation, are reshaping. The key word there, reshaping America. They're reshaping it to be.
She's a part of the participation generation. Oh my goodness.
Well, and something I have to say about AOC, if anybody was to be in a relationship with her, married to her, and have children with her, they better have balls of steel.
I think she has the balls. I think that's where that whole relationship goes. She carries the balls in her purse. She wears them, and I don't think little Sandy
stuff them in her mouth so she shuts up. Because
you just reminded me that like Jeremy talking about the time because she's the poster child of the Green New Deal, that she proposed having cows' asses fitted with catalytic converters to regulate their farts. But Jeremy brought up the idea of how about we put a catalytic converter on her mouth because she's so full of hot air.
Well, that would solve a lot of the crime process.
And the shit that she spews out of her mouth, it's unbelievable how she can say that these people at Columbia and all these other universities are peacefully protesting. How can you say that they're peacefully protesting when you have Jewish students who are being locked out of their college campuses because they know they can't protect them?
Well, and they're being threatened. These people are actually going to the campus and they're threatening these people. Speaking of college students, I want you to take a look at this. This is now Columbia, granted. Columbia is a private school.
Yeah.
But you know what Columbia does accept? It accepts
federal money. I know that.
Federal money, yes, and federal student loan program. You can do that. But check this out. This is one of those great Columbia students. I want you to just watch.
And what would you say is the main goal with tonight's?
Gonna have a whole lot of fun, and it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn.
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Is there something that NYU's doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're... Do you know what NYU's doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Why are we here?
More educated. I'm not either. I came from Columbia. I was there up at Columbia, and we came down. They said NYU students needed our support. So I came down. I heard there's lots of cops. Some people were saying it was getting dangerous.
What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn.
Why are we here? What's going on? I go to Columbia and they said they need us here at NYU, but I don't know why we're here.
It's getting dangerous. Do you know what we're fighting? Why are we protesting? Why are we here?
Something about Israel or something.
That's mom and dad. They need to rein that money back in. They are not getting their bang for their buck on this education for this poor little young lady and the other young lady too. I applaud them because they don't know what they don't know, and they're not afraid to tell people that they're morons.
Yeah, at least they got that going for them.
Exactly. So,
but how is it that these people are being number one? They're being allowed to chant these horrific things: death to the Jewish people, death to America.
Right.
If you or I were out there, and we were saying death to other classes of people, we'll just put it generically out there.
Yes.
We would be in prison, and we would be, there'd be riots and shootings all across America. But for them, it's okay.
It is, and they're being taught that.
It's a double standard.
Well, they're coming, and that brings up my question. Why do people want to leave their country, emigrate with an E, to come here, immigrate with an I, to change our country to resemble the shithole that they came from?
I have no idea. And not only that, though, Scooter, why are there people here that are so passionate? They're so passionate about the Palestinians. Take your cause and move your ass over to Palestine if that's the case.
Exactly.
Get your ass out of here. Especially if you're going to say death to America. If you want to say death to America, that's a threat to each and every individual American person. And I was telling you, Scooter, off the air, I'm all about, let the Jewish people, the American people. Why are we sitting on the sidelines? If you want to say death to America, let's fucking bring it. Let's go at it.
Come on. Well, okay. So these young skulls full of mush, going back there, they're being taught this on our soil. Check out this, a bunch of yahoos. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm going to teach you a chant in Persian that you can use if you ever encounter those Zionist freaks, whether they be Iranian or whatever, all right? Now, I don't drink margaritas, but we all know what a margarita is. We all know what a bar is. So you're going to say, Marg Bar. Marg Bar. Marg Bar Israel. 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 Thank you. What does that mean? Oh, so it has two meanings depending on who you ask. It can mean death to or down with. So can we get a Marg Bar America? We can get a Marg Bar America. Yes, we can. Marg Bar America. Marg Bar America. Marg Bar America. Marg Bar America. Thank you.
So there's your indoctrination right there. And that guy, whoever the hell he is,
yes,
he should be locked up. To say the least, he should be fired from whatever position he's doing right now.
But that's in Cook County. That's in Chicago.
Right. If it's anywhere here on American soil, his ass should be prosecuted, fired. He doesn't belong in this country.
No,
he doesn't. If he wants to try to indoctrinate people to say death to America or death to, Israel or whatnot, we don't need that in our country.
Well,
I mean, there's laws in this country that I'm not allowed to say certain things that I would love to, but I would have black suits at my front door in 10 minutes. But this fucker can get away with the hate speech that he has.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So,
and for those who would say that he's got a First Amendment right to chant death to America and death to Israel, the First Amendment does not protect you from making terroristic threats.
And those are terroristic threats.
Those are terroristic threats, and they are not what I believe are protected under the First Amendment for free speech. And here's the problem, though, I have with it, okay? Farsi, what he was speaking, is a very concise language. And you heard him say that there's two meanings, depending on who you're speaking with, to this Mark Bar Israel and Mark Bar America. There's not. There's only one meaning. It's death to.
Mm-hmm.
It is wishing for death upon the people that you put after that noun. So Israel and America, wipe them off the face of the earth. This is the same chant that they have in the Iranian parliament.
Oh, okay.
So this is a chant that goes on in certain places. They say it in Iran. There's some other places that it may have been heard. It was heard in Iraq back in the 90s. Death to America, the Great Satan.
So if I were to say that, the same terminology,
yes,
and put it on YouTube, put it on social media, my
Or
ass
on
would be in
TikTok.
prison. The FBI would be at my front door in 10 minutes.
you would be going. You'd be going down, brother.
You know I would.
Mm-hmm.
So why is this piece of shit allowed to? And why are the pieces of shit all across our country campuses being allowed to do what they're doing?
Now, you have the right guaranteed to you as a citizen. If you're a citizen, you have the right to peacefully assemble, protest, and to redress your government for changes.
Okay.
That is in the Constitution.
But what this guy is saying is not peaceful. Number one.
Nope.
And like I said, it's those are threatening. That's threatening terminology.
Well, it is. And here's the other thing. In Dearborn, Michigan, you guys remember this, there was a young man standing at a podium at a political rally that was chanting death to America. Not in Farsi. He was saying it in English. And he was a Middle Eastern gentleman. What's happened to him?
Probably nothing. They're probably waiting for him to create an actual terrorist attack and then go back and arrest him, like all the other issues that other incidents that happen in our country. How the FBI, oh yeah, they were aware of things that he was saying, but they didn't do anything until after people died. That sounds about right in my book.
Exactly.
But at the same time, if it's a white person in America, and they don't even need to say half the shit that this guy is saying. I mean, they can just show up to a school board district and care about their children and what's going on, and the FBI is on it like flies on shit.
Exactly. Or if you are, now here's a weird thing. If you're a part of a religious organization and you are evangelistic in a way, and you do things like pray out in front of Planned Parenthood clinics and things of that nature, expressing your First Amendment peacefully, you go to jail. The FBI hunts you down and they arrest you. And right. they bring in quick reaction forces to arrest you because you're a dangerous criminal for praying in front of a Planned Parenthood. That actually happened.
Now,
Well-
and here's another thing that just was crossing my mind.
Mhm.
You know, you have this guy. I'm not going to call him a gentleman. He's a jackass.
Yep.
You have him spewing these words. Yet at the same time, these same people that are chanting these types of words, these are the same people that have an issue with you or I are worried about Muslims coming into this country and creating and doing terroristic activity.
Mhm.
They're like, oh, you're a racist, you're this, you're that, the other, because you think all Muslims are horrible people, this and that and the other. But at the same time, it's okay for those same exact people to wish death on the American people and to other Jewish people.
Exactly.
And of course, the question of like why the double standard. And now, if you as a law-abiding citizen was to give an elected official a citizen's arrest, you would be arrested.
Like Miss Dixie says, you know, the Islamophobia, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what those people are worried about. You know, but at the same time, so they have Americaphobia. Is that what you're saying?
Ooh, Ameriphobia. I like it.
Ameriphobia.
I like-
That's what's going on.
Well, okay, so taking a page out of the liberal book, how come some astute citizens don't get together and create a class action lawsuit against the United States government and the Biden administration for feeling unsafe? Because I feel unsafe when people are chanting death to America. That's a violation of my civil rights. How come we have not seen this happen yet? Just curious.
Probably because we know that it's just going to be dismissed by these courts.
Pretty much. You know, I mean,
It's
that
gonna be ignored.
Well, it depends on which court, because we could go court shopping like, you know, everybody else does, like Jack
Like the
Smith.
Biden administration. Yeah.
Like Jack Smith did. Thought he'd get a friendly judge down in Miami, so that's why he went there, because Miami is overtly Democrat. And of course, he filed those charges in Washington, D.C., where there is no hope in hell that Donald Trump will ever get a fair trial.
A fair deal, a fair shake.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, you know what? And here's where I'm at. And I hate to say that I'm being honest about this, because I really am at this point, because I don't think anything's going to change through the courts. We're at the brink to where, like I said earlier, and I hate going down this path. I really do. But if these people are going to continue to be allowed to chant death to America, death to the Jewish people, it's time that people just take action. Take it into their own hands.
Now, that could be considered a threat by saying that, by taking it into your own hands.
Well, I'm not advocating that, but I think that's the only way that things shake out at this point in this country. You do not have any backing for the American people. The American people should not be having to hear these things. And if these things are being said, the government needs to take action. And that's what I'm hopeful for. Because if no action is taken, eventually, at the end of the day, people have to do what they have to do to survive.
Right.
And if they're not going to be protected by their own government, that the citizens, I mean, we already see it at our borders, folks. We see immigrants from other nations that are not here coming in here legally. We have no idea who they are. I guarantee you there's at least a few terrorists that have come across this border.
A few?
At least a few. At least.
A few.
And so you're seeing it at the borders. You're seeing it at college universities. This government, the current government we have, is not representing, is not protecting American citizens whatsoever. So the American citizen now is now only left with a choice. Do you just take it up the ass and accept it for what it is, and this is how life is going to be? Or are you going to stand up for one another and confront this? I mean, that's how I see it. If the government is not going to fulfill their duties and responsibilities of their positions, do the American people have a right to defend themselves, to protect themselves against terrorist threats to people that wish death to them? It's just like saying, hey, you know what? The Israelis should stop attacking Hamas. You know what? You know what? I'm sorry, Israelis. It's not nice that you're bombing them. You just need to sit there and just take it.
That's right. Yes,
That's basically what's being said.
You're the aggressor. By goodness, you've only lived in that land for more than 3,000 years, but you are the aggressors because of people who don't exist are claiming a land that never was, and you should let them run all over you because it's sibling rivalry.
Well,
that's all it is.
Well, and I think probably also where you may have been going, James, if the federal government is just that more interested in protecting the terrorists instead of protecting the American people, we might very well be on the brink of, I hate to say the C word, civil war.
Oh my God,
Podfather, don't. We'll have to scrub that.
Yeah, erase that. And that's the thing is all I
would like for us to be wrong, but
all I expect is an American citizen, a tax-paying American citizen, is for our government to do what their responsibilities are, to represent me, represent my fellow Americans, and do what's right for America. That's all I ask. And what's going on these universities is not right.
James for president, ladies and gentlemen. James for president. Yeah. I think my blood pressure is just about at the top limits of the diastolic and systolic numbers.
You have black suits at your door knocking on it, don't you?
I'm not going to comment. I will neither confirm nor deny that I will be body cavity searched later. That's a whole different subject altogether. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a complete joy. I'm so glad we were able to get back together, my brother.
Well, I'm glad we were able to fix our audio issues, and you were able to take the duct tape off of my mouth, which after tonight you'll probably put it back on, but that's all right.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I'm a little hurt. I'm a little hurt because I would love to have a conversation with Dude Sean, and it wasn't my intention to offend him in any way. But
that's the first time I heard Dude Sean getting so butthurt.
You know what?
This is what the Biden economy has done to people.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I am going to tell you, Shell, that yes, there is going to be a Beans and Weenie show. Is doomed Saturday night. We have got Spanky back. He was paroled from Mexican jail with the help of Slightly.
Hopefully Jester will be back.
And you know what? We hope that Jester will be here with us too. We know that Jester's got a lot going on. Couple of things. If you have not gone out to Podbean and looked up the Doom Daily Show, I would recommend that you do it. It is a new project by Jester. And
nice.
It's not doomsday. It's not prepping. It's a little bit different twist. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yes.
It is spicy, Jester. So just
it's slightly approved too.
And slightly approved.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
And if y'all saw the super chat, big changes on Podbean next month, like with the Old Man's Podcast and Outside Normal and so many other great friends. So be there for that.
Exactly. And don't forget, we didn't get Crash in here. Would have loved to have had her in here, and Amber May and all the other wonderful friends out on Podbean.
But they'll be back.
Definitely go check them out as well. But we're gonna wind this up. And Podfather, thank you so very much. I'm glad that you were safe. I'm glad that you weren't kidnapped and sold across the border for scallops. I want to thank you for that. And James, with all of my heart, buddy, you're my dear friend, and I love having these conversations with you.
Yeah, I enjoy it too. I just I'll be excited to see you on Saturday as long as I don't have anybody showing up at the doors in the next 10 minutes, which, make an interesting podcast for the next time. But
well, I think we need to go more into depth on that next week.
Yeah, no,
more of the participation generation, more of why people are coming to our country to destroy it. And you know what is creating this hatred? I think that would be something to continue next week.
Yeah, I maybe we can find someone to go on the air with us, and we can just straight up ask them.
Dude, I'm with you.
Eric, get on it.
Adios, amigos. See you around Podbean.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Like I said, Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Beans and Weenie Show is doomed with Spanky, Jester, Slightly, and myself, Scooter, to have a rollicking good time. No politics there, baby. Just a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, maybe even some alcohol imbibing.
Maybe a song about Jester and his balls.
Actually, a book.
Hey, this is James from the Slightly Serious Show and the Slightly Doomed Show, and I want to thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to join me and Scooter on Wednesday evenings at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 Central on our live stream conversation. Check out our linktree.com/BWD crew for details on where to find the show. And remember, you're free to disagree, but don't ever stop the conversation. And if it's not serious, we probably aren't talking about it. Bye-bye.